Hello and welcome to a new edition of True Audio Files. Before we get into the topic at hand, just wanted to ask if you could subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and if you liked this video, please like it, leave some comments below if you'd like, and hit that alert bell if you want to know when my new videos come out. You can also check me out on social media. You can check out that information in the description. I've got links to the spaces that I am on. So the biggest one, my favorite one that I really need to spend more time on. Just been crazy busy work and personal life lately, but I have a True Audio Files Facebook page that I would love you guys to check out and maybe post some stuff on. So, all right, that's out of the way. Time to talk about the Miles Davis box set that is coming out by Vinyl Me Please. The interesting thing about this one, and the biggest reason why I bring it up and want to kind of single it out a little bit, is this one is actually done all analog, which is interesting. So it's going to be a very interesting way to check these out. It's basically the box set's going to, I should probably talk a little bit about the box set. It's what they are classifying as his electric years. So there's 7 albums. 6 of them, I believe, are studio. I know at least 5 of them are, but you basically have In a Silent Way, Bitches Brew, A Tribute to Jack Johnson, Live Evil, On the Corner, Big Fun, and Get Up With It. I would say several of these are some of my favorite albums by Miles Davis, actually. I would put some of these actually even above some of his earlier works, like, you know, Kinda Blue and some of the other stuff that's out there. I like these a lot more, especially On the Corner. Get Up With It is really great. And then obviously Bitches Brew, and I really like In a Silent Way. All of them I like quite a bit, but In a Silent Way, Bitches Brew, On the Corner, and Get Up With It are definitely near my top favorite Miles Davis albums. So, but what's going to make this interesting is, you know, Mofi's released at least a few of these. I know that they've got On the Corner, Bitches Brew, and Tribute to Jack Johnson because I have them. If you see here, the Bitches Brew, Jack Johnson. So I have at least those 3 in my collection. 3 of my favorite Mofis in my collection. And I know that, for example, they're going to be coming out with a 1-step for Bitches Brew, and I'm pretty sure they're coming out with, well, not pretty sure, I know they're coming out with a super vinyl version of On the Corner. I don't remember, Tribute to Jack Johnson they might be doing as well as a super vinyl, but I don't recall. But anyways, all of those, though, have been in the process that is now notorious for Mofi, which they've basically gone to the Sony studios, or, you know, wherever the master tapes for Sony are, and taken their equipment with them, which includes a reel-to-reel deck and analog to digital converter, and to transfer the master tapes to DSD digital, which DSD is considered by many the best form of digital out there. It's high resolution digital, and there are different levels of it, but safe to say it's considered by many who like digital the best form of digital out there. But regardless, they do their own transfers on their own equipment and then bring it back to their studios in California to cut the vinyl and make the super audio CDs, so on and so forth. So with these new Vinyl Me Please ones, I want to make sure that people completely understand what the all analog process is on these, because they're not actually taking the original master tape and cutting directly from those master tapes. What they're doing is they're taking, what they've done, I should say, is they have gone to where the tapes are and made a analog copy. So they've actually taken, reel-to-reel tape and created them they said 1-to-1 transfer of that tape. I've heard that it might be a 30 IPS for those who want to go to, deep techie and nerdy about it. But anyways, it's a direct copy from the master tape onto another reel-to-reel tape. similar to the tape that was used for the master. So you're going to get as close as you can in the analog realm to that master tape by using basically a similar tape just to copy it to it. Then what's being done is Ryan K. Smith at Sterling is taking those analog copies and cutting those from those to vinyl or to the lacquer and then getting them pressed. I think it's pretty cool that they're doing that. I'll be very, very interested. And when it comes out, I've already placed my order for it. When I get it, I will definitely do an extensive comparison between the Vinyl Me Please ones and the Mobile Fidelity ones. The one thing I'm sort of disappointed about, though, however, is that Vinyl Me Please is actually starting their own pressing plant, run by the guy who used to run the pressing plant, the QRP pressing plant, which Analog Productions gets all their stuff pressed at. And I know that they're already getting ready to start pressing records there. They've already made an announcement that Pearl Jam Yield is going to be pressed at that new facility. So it's kind of upsetting and I'm perplexing as to why this Miles Davis box set is actually going to be pressed at GZ Vinyl. Biggest reason is, I think, twofold. Number one, I think they created this new pressing plant because they didn't want to deal with the issues they were having with GZ Vinyl, or their customers were having with GZ Vinyl, because I've found, and I'm sure those of you who have any experience with GZ Vinyl pressings have found, that they're kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes they have great pressings, but more times than not, there's issues with them. Some worse than others, but they're generally not going to be the quietest pressings out there, I have found, and some other issues that come along with that. So it was kind of upsetting that they've done this at GZ Vinyl. Now, maybe it's a situation where, this is a Vinyl Me Please exclusive, but maybe they're going to be creating other reissues or releases of this through the Legacy Columbia labels, and they're maybe using the same stampers in the same facility to press those copies. I don't know. I don't have any background to that, but that's the only reason I can think of that they would stick with GZ Vinyl here. And maybe they're under contract. I don't know. But that's the only disappointing thing I can see on this. But, this, and I know that there's going to be some differences, obvious differences between these and the Mobile Fidelities besides the pressing issue. And it's going to go beyond whether it was a straight analog cut or digital cut. And it's just the fact that there's going to be different equipment being used. What Mobile Fidelity uses to cut their vinyl versus what Sterling uses to cut their vinyl is completely different. And obviously the engineers that are doing it maybe have different philosophies on how to cut vinyl. So there'll be those differences as well. So that's the one drawback to this, and the one thing that is going to make it difficult to say distinctively and definitively that, hey, the process that Mobile Fidelity uses is better, or the process that Sterling uses is better when it comes to the process of creating an analog copy or creating a digital copy before cutting it to vinyl. But I'm very excited to check this out. I wanted to let you guys know about it if you didn't know, and kind of explain the process on this analog, all analog pressing of it, and make sure that you understood that this is not going to be a direct cut from the master tape. They're going to use copy tapes, which for those of you who maybe aren't as much in the know, one of the drawbacks of doing that is anytime you make a copy of an analog tape, you're gonna onto another tape, you're gonna have a generational loss. There's gonna be some little bit of loss in fidelity, especially in the high end. And there's just things that typically are, in my opinion anyways, usually noticeable. Maybe it's not blatantly obvious, but typically noticeable on that when you do something like that. And so, in theory, the digital copy is a perfect copy, if you will. And I say that because I know that some people don't feel that it will be. But you're not going to get the generational loss at least not in the same way that you would in an analog copy. So it'll be interesting to see if that generational loss is noticeable on these things that Ryan K. Smith are going to do. They may not be. I mean, it's definitely something that's measurable. Whether you can audibly hear that difference, I guess it depends on the person and if they know what to listen for or not. I don't know. But anyway, it'll be very interesting to see. I'd love to hear your take on it. What are your thoughts? Do you feel that, do you think that these all analog pressings of the electric years of Miles Davis on Vinyl Me Please are going to sound better than the Mobile Fidelity because they're all analog? Or do you think that it's kind of more of just more of the same, and it's not as big of a deal as maybe some people might make it out to be because it's all analog? I want to hear your take. That's everything I've got for today. I hope you have a great day. I want to thank you for watching my video. I want to thank you if you're a subscriber, and I want to thank you if you're getting ready to subscribe and like this channel. And that's everything I've got. You have yourself a great rest of your day, and you have a great week. Thanks a lot.